Hello everybody, welcome to another video. Today we're on part 11. We've beaten the main story. We've got the side stories to come. We've done the 2 metas. I want to redo one of the event chains in the second map because we were missing... Actually, I don't really know what we're missing. I think we're missing one quote-unquote cutscene where we interact with an orb. And something about a sewer, which I think might also just take us to a place we've already been, so I don't know about that. But aside from that, so today the plan might be a shorter episode today. The plan is to finish map comp. All right, we're at that point now. So for the Shipwreck Strand, I have 3 POIs to get. We were rushing for them in the last part. We actually have a bit of time to do them this time. As for the second map, there's a little bit more going on, I think. Well, not much. I mean, 2 POIs and 2 hero challenges. There's also a jumping puzzle. So I'd really like to see that. I don't know where it is. I believe there's an additional one, right? So we'll see all of that. So yeah, anyway, hello everybody. Welcome. Thanks for making it. If you're watching this live, you know, I only put the schedule up half an hour before going live today. So good job for catching that, everyone. To Nick 0123210, he just sent 10 gift memberships. Thank you so much to Nick. Thank you. You're after John's own heart. That's amazing. Thank you very much. That's really lovely, and congrats to anyone who got lucky and got a membership there. Has YouTube changed the UI for that? I don't know. Right, so we do have more comments, questions, discussions. We will do those in a minute. There's a bit more of a back and forth. So we'll see what we think about that. I'm going to go to my homestead for it as well. However, just before all of that, we are starting with the meta about to begin. Now, last night, I played a ton of the game. Like, a lot. Like, I sat there grinding with Kerry. She's going for one of the legendaries. She's going for Ancora Bellum, I think. And so, for the legendary, you need a lot of map currency. So, when you complete events... So, I understand a bit more how this works now. When you complete events in this map, you get this Aether-Rich sap. I've got 1,295. From the Let's Play so far, that is what I've earned without particularly grinding for it. Just doing events and seeing what's there. You can trade this 5 per into a currency called chromatic sap. And so when you're making the legendary, you need a load of the sap. So it's basically just, hey, play the map, do the events, and transfer them into the actual crafting material, right? This is a currency, the sap is a crafting material. And a similar thing is happening on the second map. It's ducats that get transferred down into magical stones or something. So anyway, you get 5 sap for an event, maybe 10, maybe 15 if you get lucky. So to get the crafting material, you get 1 crafting material to 3 crafting material for an entire event, right? Now think about how long those escorts take, right? If you're doing one of the escort events or just any boss, some of the events take a long time. You can invest a good 10, 15 minutes and come out of it with 1 sap. Now, that's pretty brutal. On the other hand, here's what Kerry and I were doing. Let's see. I'll just go to the Dark Leviathan, I suppose. Now, I believe this is the way to farm. You can run around the map, tagging events, scanning on your skimmer, of course. See if there's any sunken or hidden chests, because those can give you the sap straight up.
There's the power.
But... oh, the minimap is failing me here. That should have a little up arrow on it, surely. Because there is not a thing there. No, what? Huh? Oh, it's in the middle ground. So what you can do is just run around the map, find some mithril ore. Nobody likes gathering mithril ore. But oh, look, I got chromatic sap there. That's the tiered up thing. That's the material. That's not the map currency. That is worth 5 of the map currency, and I just got that from pressing F on a single node. So this was a mastery we unlocked a few days ago. Any gathering nodes have a chance to produce the materials for you. So when you get a clam, you only get 1 swing or whatever. So there I got some pearls. Where's the other one? There's another one here somewhere. I can see it on the minimap. I can't appear to gather it. There it is. But there you go. I got a chromatic sap there. So what I was doing with Kerry last night, and what she was doing in particular to work on the legendary, is just exploring the map. Not even really working on the legendary, on the events. Not even really working on, you know, the metas, certainly. Now, the meta once per day, you can get 25, so it is good to do the Hero's Choice chest. but just run around gathering stuff. And you get XP as you gather stuff, of course, as well. So we played a bunch last night just doing that. And it's been quite a novel experience to me. I actually quite like it. I quite like the mastery. And I quite like that I've, you know, been going to a diversity of places. We're getting very unlucky here. You know, just gathering stuff. There's also the fact that on lists I have these super fast tools, like the Glyph of Industry and stuff. So I'm, like, set up for this. And yeah, you just scan on your skimmer as you sail around. Sometimes you'll get a chest. And you can press F on those. And through that, I've actually found this has been quite an interesting way to play. So, chromatic sap there. So, last night, here's what Lys's inventory is a bit of a nightmare right now, sort of. So, here's what she's got. 152 of them. In one day. 152. Not even in one day. In one evening. We did the meta on this map, and then we gathered stuff until the meta came back up, and we said, okay, we're tired, we're going to stop. So that was it. But that is, like, vast amounts of Aether-rich sap. So I've made extremely good progress, I believe, on the Legendary if I want to do it, or any of these other rewards which are asking for stuff. And, of course, I can double-click any of these to convert them back into the sap. So yeah, that's pretty good. And I think that these gathering ideas are kind of fun. I don't really remember doing that in other mini X packs. You know, did Arenanet get the balance off? I don't know. But there you have it. So, that's that. Then also, you know, we have other things to look at. I'm going to deposit there. But the meta is starting. And so here's the other thing I want to talk about. Like I said, I did the meta. I'm playing the Otter build. We obviously set that up at the end of the last episode.
Your astral wards say their scanners are jumping. Jess would make a deal with darkness to get us all under her thumb. And Jimmy'll do whatever she says, long as it involves explosions. Careful. Those two have way more ambition than brains.
There's the chest. Jesus. It's weird. I keep... So yeah, I've been gathering chests as well.
Did you hear about
so I've been making... Oh, here, look.
Cassidy told me those dirty pirates were quaking in their boots when Cash's group walked in.
I heard Cash even brought a trinket back for Elda. That's Cash for you. Thoughtful even in their bloodthirstiness.
All right, that wasn't very good. I did hear the Morgemoth dialogue yesterday. It's someone on a beach somewhere around here. Yeah, anyway, so because I've been getting chests, I've been actually working on this beach combing thing. I guess there's chests all over Corteria as well, by the way, because one of these is to go do it in Corteria. And that's quite fun. And you'll notice, actually, my generic Castor achievements, at the start of the last episode, we had barely any of these. Suddenly, I've made epic progress, thanks to the meta events that we did in the last part, and having gone on a bunch of these chests, so really worked on those a lot. So anyway, I did the meta a couple of times. I've been on the Otter build. We set it up at the end of the last episode. I love this build. What is going on? Is nobody here? Ah, this isn't good. I need to set it up on LFG. If you guys want to play with me, you're more than welcome. I'm on you. Meta not full. Where the hell is all the players? Invite to squad. Yeah, join, everybody. This build is so fun. Okay, so remember, passively as an Otter, we heal whenever we apply regen. So I've gone big with regen, right? I've gone Dwayne Relic. I've got Dwayne Runes. I've mixed in Minstrel, so I have nearly 100% boon duration.
Well, you said if we act suspicious, these do-gooders will show up. Then we'd blast them with the contraptions you bought.
Don't ruin the surprise.
You said you weren't gonna call me that no more. You promised. Well, only 7 minutes older she is, and I'm bigger besides.
Didn't invite these louts here for tea. Fire up the machine, you don't.
This the part where we blow them up?
I'm gonna do all the thinking around here. Yes, Dimwit, go.
Oh, they write so many nasty people in this game. All right, okay, so okay, I do have an EMP. So yeah, this build, right, basically can heal crazy because of the target cap, and that's something I've always loved about regen builds, where effectively I can put really long-lasting regen and alacrity for what it's worth on a target. They'll run away, and then when I apply more regen, because I'm spamming Healing Rain like mad, when I apply more regen, other people get regen. So, like, there should be a 5 target cap, but I'm putting regen on so many targets at once, I'm getting blue numbers on green numbers on everyone. What am I? Okay, I'm positively charged. We want to go over here. So it's really fun for open world. The alacrity uptime is mental as well. And the heals are very good. Oh, and the cleanse is good for these bleeding fields. Another thing, I'm running Evasive Arcana, which I've noticed can proc specialized elements. So I can actually charge my otter by dodging. I hadn't noticed that before. So you can just keep generating more and more and more otters. More... so there we got CC'd, and we are in a lot of burn, and I can't get out. I should actually be casting the earth thing. Oh, and also... Oh my god, those people all got defeated. Wow, I'm bragging about the healing, and they got defeated. Also, you know, all the geysers that I'm dropping, they also are crazy. Because they're rezzing people, which again is why it's so sad that those guys got defeated. I don't really have a good... I do have a good elite, actually. I should be using the water elemental. It's very weak for CC, but aside from that, oh my god, it's fun. Like, and all these little ticks of regen that we apply, they all do flat heals on top. Oh my god, why is there a pull every time on that? That's crazy. It makes me sad that there's not like a good healing stats. Oh, there, we actually dodged too quickly. So we actually did gas out on that one. So yeah, you know, we got big benevolence. I don't know whether Dwayne Relic is really worthwhile over some of the new ones. Carcosa would probably be even better. Or the new one, which is another 25 benevolence if they're low. So when it really counts. So as long as we can cleanse that Amoeb and all of the bleeds off of everyone. Look at that. So good. And yeah, they're just the alacrity. I kind of want to try this in a 10-man squad, right? Where you're in sub 3 and your other players are sub 1 and 2. And did you see all those? Just tick, 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 green, 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 green. So good. And you're just solo heal. Yeah, and I can tap F to put another geyser down. Seriously, because the uptime is that mental. Like, it's just rock solid 30 seconds of alacrity constantly. Because it's quite high duration, and you're just refreshing it over and over and over. So, like, you could just have one healer for 10 people. But I don't know how that... I don't know if it would be super reliable. Like, I'd want to try it, you know. Am I the only one here? Oh, God. Oh, because I never broke the bar. This guy's so much easier than she is because he doesn't have the big bleed bomb thing.
Never felt better.
I don't know whether this is designed that some people are supposed to be at range. Like, look, we're not even healing anyone right now because there's nothing to heal. I can try to get stability up because this is AoE stab for everyone. So, like, we were doing the script king a bunch yesterday and trying to, like, cast it before he does the crazy knock over and over. This guy, obviously, what we'd be going for is the shockwave. Oh, wasted that. I don't know if the elite is really a good heal. It's certainly not a sustain heal, and that's what we would want. There's that. Oh, those guys did go down, actually. The quick res. So yeah, I haven't played a support build for a while in open world, and I do find them fun in the metas. So also, by the way, you'll notice that I have very good frames right now. Someone dropped a comment in Discord saying, oh, by using the effect denoiser add-on, I can get 60 FPS in Zergs. So that's kind of what I'm trying right now. I have everything culled off. Let's go highest, and see whether we have okay frames. So this is all players on display, all ads on display. You see all the ritualists, spirits, and everything there. But most of their combat effects disabled. So instead of like the 3 FPS we had earlier in the series, we actually have pretty good FPS here. I think Arenanet should take note of that and consider some native options for that, because look at that, that's a huge win. Right? This is full reflections, full shadows, full everything,
Powerful combination.
but with visual noise called out. See, look, I got knocked back there, but we're still rezzing. So nice. The other thing that's really crazy about this build, right, is I'd be running around gathering stuff. I'd be running around, you know, getting my skimmer chests. I would do an event, and a random player would be there, and I'd apply regeneration to them. We'd get reward for the event. And then... Oh, let me actually break the bar, sorry. And then... It is a bit low for my taste, so let's just go back to low. And then I'd go off and do my own thing. And like 5 minutes later, I'd get like a ding bronze reward for something. And the game would be giving me, you know, currencies and shit for doing events that I'm nowhere near. And why that is because I've applied regeneration to a random player. That regeneration has lasted so long and continued healing them that they're on the other side of the map. I get a couple of regen ticks on them on the other side of the map, and thus I get credit for an event I was nowhere near. That happened to me twice last night. And again, I was playing a long time, so don't expect, like, it's not like a crazy cheese or anything. But it was pretty interesting and quite satisfying, you know, like, oh, I'm still healing that guy, even when he's off in the next fight. And I like that.
Powerful combination.
So, like, right now, why that comes to mind is I am 100% confident I'm healing people in the other room right now. Well, okay, maybe not at this point. I've been rambling for a bit long. But it's pretty fun. I've always loved regen. It's not as good as it looks in terms of the numbers, really. Like, I remember someone did a quiz, like a Guild Wars. You know, I did Guild Wars 2 Mastermind. Someone did that on like Reddit, and they were like, "Here's my," but they were like a raider, so they had like all this nonsense information and like iffy takes that weren't really true to the game. They were just true to their tiny little section of the game, but they have no like understanding of the full product. And one of the things they were going on about, oh, regen, it's like the best thing in the entire game. It's like, it's not true. Yeah, I know it looks good on your healing stats, but I am a fan regardless. I like regen.
That's my blush.
This is getting serious.
Oh, is it over for this? No, it's not. We're still in there.
My mobility is impaired.
I really should just spam the utilities more. That's what I'm realizing here. I'm opting for dodge rolls for auto charges when they should be.
Combine and compound.
See, the timing is brutal. Oh, and I'm giving Aegis on the heal skill. We are giving Aegis as well. By the way, there's a lot of minstrel on this. I'm pretty fucking tanky, right? I have 25,000 health. That's how hard these bleeds hit. Those bleeds are really fucking painful. So the fact we're spamming cleanses out the ass.
Synergy is beautiful.
Is nice. Oh, obviously Signet of Water is spammable too. It does feel a bit Tempesty, like, okay, I don't use Aftershock, I use Toad's Fortitude. Okay, I don't, sorry, or Aftershock, I use my elite, my heal skill. You know, the elite specs are getting a bit samey, and I do maintain that, see, you see these people I'm healing, like, in there? Like, what the fuck? They were ads that I was healing in the center of the room, because the ads were allowed through the barrier, like flesh golems and stuff.
Rage at maximum.
Healing like flesh golems and shit is really cool to me. It reminds me of like Guild Wars 1. Where you're like using fallback or incoming or, you know, in the classic days, blood is power to try and keep them up. Someone actually has a cool post on the Guild Wars 1 subreddit at the moment of a shambling horror Assassin's Promise setup. And like he has a really good play guide for it and everything. I fucking love that community is still talking about things. It's a shame because earlier in the year, like I basically finished the game, like actually. Look at the numbers. Look at this. So I've got like very little motivation to play it again now. Like, what would I do? Fucking random arenas? I don't think so. I love the idea of me getting into random arenas, getting really into it, and there's like 5 guys there, and they're all horrible, nasty people. and eventually I break and I say something to them, and then it appears on Reddit. Look at WP being toxic in random arenas in Guild Wars 1. Oh god. Yeah, I'm not doing that. You just plugged a Wing 1 on Conduit with 40% alacrity. Shit's unplayable. Yeah, oh dude, that fucking, I'm telling you, that Conduit build is awful on the opener. I've done quite a few raids on it, and if your boon supports don't give you quickness instantly, it's so fucking annoying. Because you won't get that charge miss swap, because you'll cancel cast something, and then you have to press another button, and then you get the affinity, which gives you a fucking energy refund, so now you definitely don't get it. Oh, like, also, all the encounters where you're not stacked on the boss immediately, and you have to run in, you have to change the opener. You have to open with, like, Axe 5 or Mace 3 or something. Like, it's just, it's very golem-y, that build. Thankfully, when we were progging Greer, we did start next to the boss. Condi Greer, sorry. But when we went to the power strat, we weren't next to the boss at the start. It was just always annoying. But yeah, I'm telling you guys, the uptime on this is awesome. And it's so easy as well. Really simple little build. The big downside, right, is there is no break bar on this, really. There's none. I mean, I could add Air Elemental as the elite. I could put Technobabble as one of the utility skills. Or Ice Bow, I guess, as a more realistic thing.
Commander, the scanners are dead. Are you? No? Then I assume that's job done. Fido's right.
But like, look.
I'll be damned.
We're still just sitting here, super capped. You can also pre-stat. You don't need a target for any of your boons, right? You can just trigger them however you like out of combat. So you can get the ball rolling really quickly. Yeah, and it's like so easy to just do that. The radius is pretty good on everything. So I'm a fan of Otter. I don't know whether I actually am a fan of it in raid scenarios and stuff like that. But for open world, it's a fun setup. I've had my fun with it. I actually like all of the animals now. So a little review. We're at the end here. A little review of... why can't I right-click my thing right now to change it? Oh, when it's supercharged, you can't? Fire is OP and simple, and I've had fun playing builds. Toad is not strong, but has a lot of novelty. Just from my perspective in open world as I've played, right? So, you know, I had my fun with it. Otter, I've definitely had my fun with it. Hare, I've not had much fun. Hare has been pretty unappetizing. You know, look at the passive, the familiar passive. Heal allies by a flat amount whenever you grant them regeneration. So there's fun interactions there. There's fun things to think about. With the Toad, there's fun things to think about. With the with this, it's just overpowered, frankly. But plus 75 ferocity because it's tied to Fury, which you were going to have anyway. You know, it's basically a copy of what's already an air trait. Hare, I don't know, man. I don't feel the impact of Hare. I haven't really had fun on the Hare builds. Maybe that's on me. Maybe there's a spear variant or something. Overall, I don't think Evoker is distinct enough from Catalyst. But it's strong, so that has made up for it in terms of my enjoyment. Right, okay, so yeah, anyway, there you go, that's the meta. I did not get a Hero's Choice chest there because I got it yesterday. But I didn't open it, because I thought I'd open it here on stream. So look at all the items this has here. Let's turn this off. So we have 91 blues. Well, hold on. Let's go to our consumer. Oh, God. It's all a bit of a mess, isn't it? So here, I got the Arms of the People. I don't know when. Some story reward. Choose an account-bound weapon from the Seer Enchanted set. So I've never collected one of these. Arms of the People. I don't know when we get these, but they're the Seer set that we've seen, you know, obviously, as we've been playing through. So I'm going to go for the Focus. I always go for the Focus first. And I just want to say, so it's the key that we saw on that pedestal. It's quite interesting to... I think Arenanet were quite good reusing these as assets that we find around the open world. It's quite cool that they're called the Arms of the People. You know, we're now in a place where we think of Ancora as, you know, has seers inside it. Legavo and Mulmond might have seers inside them. So when I look at this and it's called the Arms of the People... Are these all kind of... Is the inference there? I'm not saying they'll ever explicitly talk about this, but is the inference that each of these seer mega weapons has a seer in it, you know, almost? You know, they're all scepter of all level... I don't know. It's kind of just a fun idea to consider, isn't it? So we have the Gift of the Tides. What else have we got? I got this Castoran Cache. It appears to have given me some Dragonite. We have some fish to salvage down at some point. I'm going to leave those. So I have 2 Castoran Hero's Choice Chesties. So, like, don't take the resin box. No fucking way. These are way better. Think about it. Each of these is worth... Each one of these is worth... How many events is that? That's like 7, 8 regular events, guys. If you pick one of these, I think. Somewhere, depending on your RNG. Am I right? Probably not. I'm going to take the sap. And I'm going to take more sap. And we'll work on stones later. So yeah, because I did that gathering run last night, I have a stack of chromatic sap. More than that now. I have like 300 of it. Enchanted stones, I'm down to 70, because I've never really focused on.
Goodbye.
So in terms of crafting legendaries, by the way, I think I'm going to go for the Aqua Breather. Like I say, you could go for one of the weapons. But for me, I have legendary in every slot in the game except the Aqua Breather. So it just kind of makes sense to go for this. It feels like we haven't talked about that enough or something, you know, like it's a big moment. How many years have we been waiting for the legendary Aqua Breather? It's here, guys. Fucking, they added the relic slot and a legendary to that before we got the Aqua Breather. You know what's funny? I really want to see these multiple relic slots. Would they do individual legendaries for each one? That's a big question, isn't it? I mean, I would totally accept and be happy with that. I reckon some people say, I don't want to make more legendaries. So maybe it's not a good idea for Arenanet to do that. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to get the Aqua Breather first, for sure. And then we'll look into that. This expansion is slated for a lot of legendaries, right? So far, it's just the Aqua Breather, the Spear, and the Staff. Am I wrong? There's nothing else. Didn't they say there's a new trinket coming or something this year? I can't remember. There's so much. Hopefully we get some good dedicated blog posts about that and some moments for them in the sun. So what else have we got here? We've got Hammerheart's Recovered Hordes. We've got a glowing Strelitzia Sprout. Choose an account-bound weapon from the Strelitzia collection. Now this, I have no idea. I already have the focus, apparently. Strelitzia weapons? Where have I been getting these from? So we also have the axe. What does Strelitzia even mean? Whoa. Oh, ew, it's more like Zuma rainbow shit, isn't it? I mean, the model dimensions is cool. I just think the colors are a bit insane. All right, let's take it. I was actually thinking about Longbow, by the way. I was looking at the current Gale Shot. As soon as the expansion came out, people have been bitching that Gale Shot is nerfed from the betas, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, people have theory crafted a 40k rotation on it, and that rotation is very smooth and very loopy and has considerable range on it. It has a really fun burst section on it where the numbers just go mental. I actually kind of love the look of Gale Shot. I think it looks epic from an open world standpoint, and we experienced that in the betas. And I think it looks really cool even in the 10-man scenarios later on at the moment. So, you know, my hat's off to that. Again, I don't really credit or fault Arenanet for how rotations end up, because Arenanet doesn't design any of that shit. That's just what happens with the players. So, like, Conduit is currently the rotations people have made is a bit hideous, but I don't... Well, actually, I do kind of fault Arenanet for that, because that's because of jank in the skills, countercasting stuff, and bugs. So, I don't know. Anyway, Castoran Caches of Riches. Bags of Booty. We got a Relic of Castor at some point. This is the one that I was just talking about. Would actually be kind of cool on this build. Instead of regeneration is 20% stronger. Oh, I don't know. Do you know what? I've decided I don't like the legendary relic icons. I don't like those. Because the actually variant bit, the bit in the middle, is now so small you can't really see it. You know? It's like how in Guild Wars 1 there's actually a lot of really cool, amazing UI art when you look at the different insignias. Like the Pyromancer's insignia and the Hydromancer's insignia and stuff. It's all shit people don't run, but it's kind of cool and there's flavour there. But you kind of have to squint at the UI. I feel that way about runes and sigils and stuff.
Oh, I know of a good use for this.
Anyway, so we got all of that. Chromatic resin. I still have this Halloween stuff. I guess it... The thing is, I'm scared to delete the tonics because I don't know if I can trade them for something right now. I assume I can't. I'll have to deal with that. What else is there in here? Well, let's open our greens. Identify our greens. Look at this. The luxury of a big-ass inventory. Look at this shit, guys. I'm not even... Well, we are getting close, to be honest. Okay, so... Blues I salvage with the copper fed. Is this how this goes? Blues with copper fed.
What a pleasant surprise.
Greens with rune crafter? Is this right? Or did I just reverse those? Is it blue with rune crafter, green with copper fed?
It's not showing off if you earned it.
Oh my god, I got Agent of Entropy? Wow. How many times have I repeated this now? 1,620 times. And then rares with silver fed. But we want to identify our rares. We have 93 rares sitting here. 93 rares.
Surprise.
I noticed I've actually got quite a lot of Ecto in my bank. Or I had. I sold it to get some cash to buy something the other day. I can't remember what. Food for some raid build, I think. Infusions, maybe. But they're not stingy on the rares, is it? Well, mind you, I did just beat an entire expansion.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise.
Oh, what a pleasant surprise. There you go. What's this? Recovered toolbox. Choose an account-bound weapon from the industrial tools weapon set. See, industrial tools? What is this? Where did this come from? Oh, this must be Inquesty stuff, right?
Another testament to my greatness.
But hold on, the box said
Accelerating.
industrial tools. This is called fast constructors. Looks like there's a rare collection for that. We haven't really scrutinized those yet, have we? We've got the Wizard's Tower thing. Some relics. Okay, so anyway, there you go. That's like our unique items. I wanted to show those off on today's episode. And yeah, that looks like about it, really. That's the book for one of the side quests. Oh yeah, the Restless Captain boots token. And I have a gloves token. I also have Alliance Field Operative light boots. I have Alliance Field Operative gloves. I don't know where all of these are coming from. But that's an achievement to get all of those. We still need the mantle, the jacket, and the leggings. So that's going to be a thing, I guess. Headed over to the Wizard's Vault, by the way. So on the last episode, we did the Secrets of the World meta event. So we get another 300 points. I've also completed a strike mission, identified 100 gear. I could view a Vista and Cantha, but look, we're back up to 500s. So moving down now to our Astral Rewards. I believe there's only 3 more Pearl Shell skins for me to get. So we've actually finished all the unique rewards again. With 80 days to go. So basically, my incentive for daily and weekly logins is running out now. I don't know how many people are in that boat. Maybe there needs to be a price or a reward shift, because that's going to be pretty sad when that happens. Because, yes, I can get the lesser essences of gold and those, but, you know, they'll run out in time too. I mean, 80 days is quite a long time. In fact, it's closer to 90 days than 80. I think there's like 1 more Pearl Shell weapon for me to get. Okay, oh yeah, I'm wearing the Dwayne outfit, by the way, as well. Did I mention that? It's on theme, guys. I could even do the Dwayne weapons. Right, So, map comp first, then a bit of lore discussion. I think that could be a good idea. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get these final POIs, these final pois. There's one actually rather near us here. These could all be cool-looking rooms, special caves and scenarios, strange places. So let's skimmer over here and check behind this waterfall. Now that POI is currently grayed out with an up arrow, which means it's way above us. Let's see if we can climb up on our skimmer. Ready? So what do you guys recommend tapping? Is that in some way better? My review at the end of the expansion with regard to the skimmer, by the way, is its turning is so slow. I'm probably not going to use it that much in the future. I don't know whether that's a real criticism or what, though, because at the end of the day, do we need to power creep every single mount, every single expansion? It's just the Warclaw is better and the Sky Scale is better. So here's this POI. Oh, it's still above. No, it's not. This is the Crow's Nest. Got some mowers. So this is it, is it? These guys hanging out up here? Hello. There's a little kitty up here called Juniper. What's the betting we go meet Juniper in that cat quest later? What's the betting? What if we get to go in the room? So I'm sure we'll be back here later. All right, well, that was one. What's the other POI? This one down here. That looks pretty simple. Just out in a lake somewhere. No dialogue yet, but...
You're an unfamiliar face.
Hello.
Take a load off. Stretch your legs. Warm yourself by the fire.
Thank you.
Just don't tell me about any of that Hull Garden freebooter cult drama, savvy?
Oh.
Those days are behind me, and I want to keep it that way.
Oh, I want to hear more about you, Crow. Oh, his name is Crow. Does he have feathers in his hair? No. I would like to hear about the drama and what exactly happened. I would have liked more about the Whole Gardeners. I mean, we get a good amount through tearing their heart up, don't get me wrong, but it just feels like in the main story I would have liked more. I'd love to be sitting here thinking, that's fine, because in the next patch we'll get more. But, you know, the later patches aren't necessarily going to have time for that either. They never do, right? They never... It's not like when Season 3 rolled around, we went back to Verdant Brink. It's not like when Season 4 rolled around, we went back to the Desolation. It's not like when... I don't know... End of Dragons rolled down. We spent a lot. I mean, we did. To be fair, in End of Dragons, we did spend a bit of time in those places. So, okay. So, this POI is low down. And we do know that there's a big cave complex down there. That's where a bunch of Inquest stuff is going on. This POI, however, is not low down. So, I'm going to grab that one first. Because that would appear to be on the surface. Oh, I really got into the music last night as well. You know, it's one thing doing a Let's Play. And look, I'm not gonna apologize for talking while doing a Let's Play. But, you know, I have to turn the game down a little bit. I am constantly... I don't do a face cam, so I can't just sit here and be chill. What was this? The Inquest mining operation? Like I was saying a few weeks ago, I might genuinely start doing face cam, guys. I know that's really weird. I know we've done 15 years of YouTube. But is it a time for change? I don't know. The content would change. It would be more immersive content. It would probably be more enjoyable. I don't know. And easier as well. You know, like... And easier is always good. Reduces risk of burnout and all that shit. Anyway, so I'm always talking. Because if I stop talking... If someone... My neuroses about that is always this, right? Imagine... This whole job, this whole game, right? It's not about you guys that are watching. It's not about the existing fans. With any business, it's not about the people who are already there. Not that I don't appreciate you, and not that I don't wish that this wasn't how it was. But it's about getting new people to watch, right? So, like, you have to imagine a new person just clicks this. If you don't have a face cam and you're not talking, they're going to immediately be like, well, what the fuck? I can get this anywhere. This is boring. So I always have to be talking, right? Always, and that's just like how it is in any not just streams, in any video. Keep engaging people, and it's not just a YouTube thing, by the way. It's not just a new media thing. That's a radio thing, right? And I do have a bit of experience with radio, by the way. I don't really talk about, but so anyway, with a face cam, it's different because you can see someone's there and present, even if they're not talking, because there's a camera. So, you know, it relaxes the whole thing. And anyway, getting back to the music, it means you could hear. So, just playing it quietly, grinding, you know, gathering things, getting chromatic sap last night. It was a very different experience. And there is a lot that I really do like about the music here and really did immerse me. Something that I didn't get from producing these episodes. But, you know, I have to assume that you guys watching have played it for yourself and you've had those quiet moments, you know. It's not the Let's Play's job to give you every possible experience, but I'm glad I've done that now, and yeah, I do really like the music on these maps. He hates us. be a VTuber? Well, to be honest, it's very primitive, but that is kind of why I have Liz there. I think it's a nice effect, but, you know, we could just toggle her off. When I very first set Liz up like that, I had it so that it would detect when microphone activity is happening, and she would toggle between an idle stance and a talky stance. But the thing is, I talk so much, it effectively just is her doing a /talky mode. And in fact, I have some variations of that. I have her in like, can I quickly browse to that? Here, like, this is list talking. This file's called list talking 720p.
My defenses are down.
There you go. She's not positioned correctly, obviously, there. But that's list talking 720p. Oh, no, she's idle there. What? Oh, fuck. Have I put 2 files on? No. That is not list talking. Let's try this one. There you go. That's the other one where list is talking. So we could just do that. And I could have it flicking between the 2 files. Maybe I'll set that up again. I don't know. Right. Okay. We've been in this chamber many times. The question is how to get to that point to the north. Is it in a grotto, in a skimaway, I wonder? It's still below. Oh, it is. Check it out. Oh, this is going to be a skimaway we've never been in, isn't it? Oh my god, there you go. The Green Root Grotto skimaway. And we got map comp. The Gift of Shipwreck Strand Exploration. It's a turtle. Ah. Earned by fully exploring the Shipwreck Strand. Additional copies can then be purchased from Visions of Eternity map vendors. I have to say, guys, my Ritualist and my Troubadour are both right on the cusp of map comp as well. So I've basically got 3 of these at this point. Let's move that down there. And as a celebration, let's move to a new Skimmer Mound. By the end of this, I'd like to go back to an actual Wavehawk. But where's the turtle? The turtle is such a good one. I guess it's not called turtle. Well, there's some real lag on toggling through these, isn't there? Wait, do I not have... There it is. The Shell Surfer. Aha! And let's dye him green. Because to me, all turtles are green. Hey, Twinsen! You can ride on my back! Yeah, in LBA, you do that a few times. Haha! Hello? I'm a turtle. I will take you through the skimmerways. This is actually kind of nice because he's compact, so I can see where I'm going. Now, I don't know how to reach any grottos from here, by the way. Maybe we've already been in this network. I'm secretly hoping that in a couple of days, Wiki will have like really sophisticated maps leading you to each grotto, so I won't get lost and we can just nail that achievement. This is one, but by the way, there is another one. Like, listen to this. Listen to those strings there. So, there's another one all the way up here. I accidentally got this. This is a POI that I collected that was not... Ah, fuck's sake. Something is attacking us, so we can't waypoint. How would it tangibly change the game if they just removed that mechanic? If you could waypoint in combat, in what ways would that break the game? Let's assess that. Let's do a little investigation. Well, because I really think that would be an amazing patch. Like, it just doesn't work anymore. In the modern world of this game, it just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. We're not walking around slow with... You know, at launch, no one knew about 25% movement, and quick swiftness uptime wasn't there, mounts weren't there, combat mounts weren't there, gliding wasn't there. The pace of the game was true to a real sense of exploration, and it made sense, don't waypoint in combat. And I miss that, by the way. That's why I want, like, seasons for Guild Wars. That's why I want, like, reset points. That's why I want balance to lower the movement power creep. It's a better game, slower game. Like, here, check it out. So, yeah, this was another skimaway. And I didn't explore it, but I assume there's some juicy grottos. Apparently, I'm going south here. I will say, though, by the way... here you go. Is this a grotto we never came to? Oh, this is the one with all the pillars. Huh. We found our way into there again. I did find a skimmerway, like, under here, or a grotto or something, under here. And it was quite fascinating because it had 3 graves in there. It was beautiful. It was full of flowers. There were 3 graves, and there was some cool lore with them too. I will give this all of 180 seconds trying to find it, because I do want to show it to you guys. The problem is I just don't remember how I got there. I think I was here trying to get to the red tree when I played on my Mesmer. But instead of going the right way, I went, like over here or something. And it said, grotto found, and I was like, what? I'm in a grotto? And I just surfaced. And there were like 3 ancient saplings in there or something, or rich orichalcum, or a chowsum. Oh my god, I might have found it. This is looking promising. Haha, I did find it! Alright, I guess I'm wrong. There weren't any things. But look at this, I got a grotto. And pressing F on these all counted as graves. There's some kind of achievement to find all the graves. So look at this. This is W-MI-S. I don't know what name that is. The name is illegible. No inscriptions were left on this grave. Dear friend, I found this place, a hidden grave, wallowing beneath the seas. I add you here amongst a crew of a solemn few. I know their names, nor if they held any fame. Look at that. If you don't read that out loud, you might not get that. That's almost rhyming there. Friend, know I loved you too. So good. Reading graves in RPGs is always good. Reading graves IRL is good. I know it's a bit morbid or whatever, but look, we must all think of our own mortality, our own place in history, our own existence within this vast cosmos. Well, I don't know. Without our specific little window on Earth. Only a few letters remain. Warrior, leader. It's too difficult to read. I don't know what the names are supposed to be, or if there is a deeper meaning to them. When I first saw that, I thought it was like Tatio or something. Or Tatiana, one of these characters. That is this game, is it? So there you go. Yeah, a nice little grotto. I do fully intend to show all of those off in this LP. I think it'll be amazing. Alright, so there you go. So that is the Shipwreck Strand. Complete, sort of. But still plenty to see. Let's finish off the Starlit Weld as well, because again, it's just a couple of POIs. Oh, actually, no, hold on. There is the little matter of mastery points. And again, I would love to see mastery points appear on here and shine. Because it's kind of tricky to catch them. So let's see here. Let's go achievements. Visions of Eternity. What? Mastery Insights. Okay. Shipwreck Strand. There's one at the Breezy Key. There's one at Jetsam Point. There's one at the well, that just says Shipwreck Strand in general. Twisting Hollows 2. And these are Starlit Weld. So I don't know what that is. Breezy Key we should get though. Breezy Key is this big old area here. Oh, but that's it there. Look, check it out. It's up. Let's see people in chat. Hello chat, by the way. I'm sorry to chat. I've openly said you don't matter. I've treated you like second-class citizens today. I've barely responded. Hello Dervik, hello LLPTV, hello FLE, hello Emily, hello Lee, hello Benny, hello Sangria, hello Mortal John, hello Milk Bucket, hello Lodus, hello Koi, hello Silver, hello Sangria, hello Lord Morkish, hello Mr. Ramo, and now I would have to scroll. So anyone who didn't get an incredible shout out there, sorry. First name wife, surname Miss Wife, Miss Wifey. Yeah, there you go. That's the name. All right. Turns out this one wasn't too. Oh no, we already got this. No, did we? No. Yes. Okay. No. There you go. The Breezy Key, and obviously these have no lore attached to them. Oh, and also, I'm ready for obscured riches now. Magic mirror chests have a chance of granting additional rewards. So yeah, I've still only done the one magic mirror. I don't know how I'm supposed to proc those or find them. I don't know how many puzzles there are. In Secretly Obscure, there were a lot of those cool little, like, sky-scale shooty puzzles. It feels like there's very few mirrors around. And because they're tied to the masteries, which means they only appear once you're sort of late in the story, I don't know, man. So hopefully we find more. Okay, so our final mastery of the entire expansion is called Prosperity Unending. We've mastered the ways of Castora's wild magic, and we have maximized what resources we can acquire from it. Event reward chests have improved rewards. Completing magic mirror challenges awards key charges. Yeah, and look at this. On this, I have 23 key charges used to open obscured chests earned by completing events and magic mirror challenges and defeating veteran enemies. What? When do I use these? Disappears when leaving a map. This mechanic is not working out for me. I don't know what the dealio is. You know, my feedback for how they structured the masteries this year, right? I think that the magic mirrors and all those little mini games, they should be unlocked by default. All right, and that's coming from me. And I usually think everything should come from masteries. I think they should be, and all the masteries should be about making them easier and changing the rules, right? You get more ammo, projectiles fire faster, they have wider radius, stuff like that, right? So then at least we're interacting with the feature a lot and we're feeling ourselves powering up rather than like just an entire feature feeling hidden or something. I don't know. I feel like that would work a bit better for me. Anyway, let's see. So the Twisting Hollows 2. Don't know about that, but Jetson Point, I assume, is a large area. Shoalstone, guarded glades. Twisting Hollows, here you are. So there must be a mastery. Ah, there you go. It's there. It's super high. So let's get that. And let's skimmer our way over to it. Use the keys on chests that appear around mirrors after you complete them. Ah. So that's my problem, that I just don't know where the fucking mirrors are. I so rarely see mirrors. Oh, can we go through this for a... Oh, we already did that one, I think. I think we did that one yesterday, didn't we? Each mirror unlocks a chest in the sub-area. I do think the music is sad here, and I think it probably should be sad because these people are all castaways. But most of the dialogue and all the stories are quite light, you know. I don't blame the expansion for not being too drab, though, because last year it was very drab as well. So, by reaching this location, you've proven your mastery. I don't know. I also kind of believe in expansions that give you a bit of everything. And maybe this does, actually, right? There's that sad seer crying on the beach. Someone mentioned in a comment that seer has more dialogue, by the way. So, maybe we'll go back to them and have a look. Here's Jetson Point, and there's the mastery. All right, there we go. So this is true map comp. Does the add-on... See, it feels to me like the add-on could include mastery points, right? Mastery locations? It could actually do what I'm asking for the game native to do. Let's sail this way. And I know this isn't the most riveting stuff, but at least it gives us a nice tour of the visuals of the map. I always find that when I'm here let's playing, I'm flicking my eyes over to chat, I'm thinking about the topic at hand. I'm not really just inhaling it, but when I play on my own, I am, and I like it. It so often is so gorgeous. Like, look at this, the windmill there, the shadow of the windmill under that. I kind of love that comment came in of that guy talking about the bouncy snowman in the story instance, because it shows that, you know, when you just watch the videos, you do get to just enjoy, you know, you do get to just see. I mean, look at that, the fucking boat there and stuff. All right, there you go. That's all the mastery points. And we are very much in excess now, I think, of what we need for the final thing. We need 5 to buy it. Oh, no, we've only got 3. Okay. I feel like their balance of points versus how many you've got to spend, points available versus how many you spend, has been really good in all 3 mini-X packs. Okay, so Starlit Weld map comp, I guess? Yeah, let's do it. Because I want to do this story, like, lore discussion thing as well. I'm wondering if we should dab it into the middle.
So that's my idea.
Getting healthy.
I'll gather up the priory and head due west through the forest.
The meta's coming up. Do we want to do that again?
Lose your sense of direction and can't see the sun.
I don't know if I do. I don't know if I do. Oh, I'm still in a squad. Wow. Holy shit. Oh, maybe that was a squad of viewers. Sorry, guys. Jeez. Because I just fucking abandoned you all. Right, we got a POI over here. Let's go find that. Let's take our turtle. Crushing turds. You'll also struggle to find the... Okay, so we lost all those keys now, did we? Oh no, I've still got 13 on this map. You'll struggle to find the chest. It's a somewhat large radius they appear in around the mirrors. So what do I get from that? Is it just generic rares, or is there like a skin set tied to that? I'd like to do more mirror challenges and see how complicated they get. It would be a shame for us not to do more. Perhaps there's a map that I can find online. Perhaps I can turn on Tiny HUD, actually, and it will lead us to them. That might be a fun little... well, I'm not going to... project is probably too grandiose of a term, but it might be a fun little adventure to dip in while we do the sort of side stories. You know, I might be a bit premature doing this. The side stories might take us to these. So there we go. The Shattered Capstone. Whatever this was. I know, I didn't get a ding for the Visit All Seer Ruins achievement by being here. So maybe I came close to this place once before. Look at this. Honestly, so good. Right, let's just scan with our eyes. There is a mastery point here, so let's just grab that before we move on to another region. Oh, is it possible that that mastery point is in the sewers? And we need to do this event chain for that? Is it possible this event chain won't be spawning for a while because the meta is due soon? So many questions. So little time. Oh, what's this? You get a lot of unidentified, and I believe that's why ectos have dropped in price so much. I mean, I just had 90 rares that I don't really know where they came from, and that's not even mirrors, so maybe just the expansion in general is giving a lot of rares. You can go into the sewers backwards. Interesting. Well, that's what I'm sort of floating my way towards now. You can access them from the outside. Oh, look at you guys. You're all being very handy. I kind of like it when there's, like, a feature that comes in that bombs you with unidentified. Like, remember when Giala Delve came out? Right, like, I think we can all agree the story was a miss and that the scope of the patches were a miss and it was a bit of a disappointment. But in terms of, like, creating a farm map, I was well on board with that. Look at this, by the way. This is so cool. Look at how massive that waterfall was that I just fell down. Kind of makes me wish that this had a Lowland Shore style visit all waterfalls feature. Can we just swim through this waterfall? Is that the game? So loud. As it should be. It's like that movie. What was it called? That John Krasinski movie where they have to be quiet. And then they have the genius idea, because aliens are killing people that make noise. And then they have the genius idea of living near rushing water. So good. Very clever. I don't know why I'm expecting the entrance to the sewer to be in the waterfall. That might be Azaric influencing me there. To anyone who's watched my Azaric LP, there's these amazing waterfalls spewing out at the bottom of the city. And you climb in them to get into the sewers eventually. And that's how you visit the Realm of Death. So maybe the sewer entrance is up again, actually. Perhaps I've messed that up. Let's climb back up. The Quiet Place, that's it. You just recently watched it for the first time. My main memory of that, right? I mean, that's a fine, fun movie, right? It's a fun concept. My main memory of it is the scene with the nail and the steps. I'm just going to say that. And that's such an excellent scene, right? It's so like... Oh. You know, there's different kind of ways of doing gory, like, wounding moments. You can go really over the top and really excessive and really popcorny with it. Or you can have a scene like that, you know. And it's just so well shot, so well paced. It's going to make you flinch, right? A scene like that. And I adore it. It's a bit like it's like in Pulp Fiction, right, where Uma Thurman gets stabbed by the needle, and you don't actually see it. That operates purely on the sound design. We actually cut away at the moment. Ah, look, it's not even in the sewers. It's just up on the waterfall. So I guess we'll save the sewers for the quote-unquote correct entrance. Or the more standard entrance, let's say. I'm guessing that... is that POI in the sewer, though? Oh, wait, what? Where the hell am I? I'm not even near where I should be. Okay, hold on, no. Let's try that again. We want to be up the cliff, right? We're all the way down at the hunter's camp now. Right, let's toggle on ley lines. Woo! Oh, I love how we're actually flying directly up. Okay, that is out of bounds. Which is a bit awkward feeling.
Getting healthy.
You're usually a silent watcher, but that scene made you like swear loudly. I mean, it's a testament to how good that scene is that, like, it sticks out in our memories so long after having watched it. Now, I'm toggling the ley line stuff off again. Because I don't particularly want to... So let's see here. So I'm presumably above the sewer right now. We have a POI there. We have a mastery there. Actually, I feel I'm probably above the tomb more than anything else. Under the leftmost waterfall, someone said. Like over here? Is that a waterfall? Down on me, says Zeolite. Oh, no? Okay, so we were in the right area. We just didn't quite spot it. Let's see, where is he? He's not up, he's down. Oh, what? I was looking on that waterfall, but it's this one? Oh, it's like ultra hidden. Whoa! And I thought it was because it was the way out, not the way in. But the ley line just zoomed us in. What? Oh my god, this is cool. That was amazing, taking me through that pipe like that. I want to do that again. Oh, my skimmer has detected a chest in the tunnel. Damn, this is cool. This is like in the grease levels in TR1. I think at the end of Palace Midas, that rockets you to the start of the Colosseum. Oh, look, a little side chamber here. This feels very very cozy. The Grotto of Spirits. Wow, butterflies.
There's the power.
Oh, I love that they kept going on with the grottos even on the next map. Oh, hey. Oh my god, there's some kind of an achievement thing going on here. Some kind of collection? There's a butterfly I can interact with. Quick, we got to interact with the blue one, and then we got to run around avoiding all of the red ones. If we hit a red one, then we'll get in a random encounter. But if we avoid them all, we can get good loot, including Kamari's Jupiter Sigil. Anyone? Huh? Huh? Alright, I'll shut up. It's the Grotto of Spirits. So I guess we'll come back here later. Very sneaky. They should have put this offshoot in the middle of the ley line. Just to make it that extra bit hidden. But they took pity on us and they turned the ley line off. Oh, I really thought we were going to end up in a big seer chamber, but we don't. We just end up... There's a mastery point down here. Oh, maybe actually we can rise. Oh, we can end up in there. I just got called a nerd. You're welcome to say that. Oh, so if we'd pressed F, we would have fallen into this pit. And then we would have been. Amazing. Oh, I'm very happy with that. That was cool. Meta event is very nearly beginning. Wait, what? Start at where? Okay, we got all the POIs now. So there's 2 hero challenges, and then we are done. It's funny, I was looking at various art assets in the client today, because I was talking to Venny about like things that maybe Refect can use. Oh, and in Spud, by the way, we've got people like playing with Refect now. You know I said when you have Aegis, you should get like a little blue shield icon? Like outline, a bit like PoE Energy Shield. I was imagining a very thin blue bright line, but like, oh my god, there's a really cool animation and stuff. So cool. Anyway, I was looking at assets. They had like a blue hero point thing, which I'm sure must come from Heart of Thorns development. Like, maybe once they had an idea where blue ones were the ones that were worth 10 and green ones were the ones that from core worth 1.
Getting healthy.
All our expeditions are to dangerous places. But wait, Commander! You're just the sort of muscle I need for this.
Sorry, bro. Sorry, I've done that event. And without anyone with me, I'm on the auto build. The roots of this tree are pumping ley magic from below ground and dispersing it into the air. A typical example of how life on Castor is adapted to the magic-rich ecosystem. Yeah, I was trying to get this before. I thought it was, like, deep underground in the final instance area. But obviously not. You guys did say that in the live chat yesterday. I just never caught it. So then last but not least, there was a hero challenge all the way up here. Oh, I saw something flicker there. I swear I was in combat. Weren't they blue at launch? Oh, intercepted unhandled exception in Guild Wars 2 process. Game will terminate when this box is closed. We just crashed. Uh-oh. We just crashed. Damn. That's unfortunate. I haven't had that happen for months and months and months and months and months and months and months. But there you go. Were they blue at launch? Were all hero challenge icons blue at launch? I don't remember that. And I'm fairly familiar with the old UI and the, you know. The thing is, they weren't even there at launch, were they? It was points at launch. No, they were there, but it was points that they gave you. The last hero point was bugged. Does anyone know if it changed? Because it reads like it was altered. Oh, it was bugged, was it? All right, we're back. Sorry about that, everybody. They were the blue chevron thing. Wow, I've completely... I wonder if I saw a picture of it, I'd remember. What I'm talking about is literally this, but in blue. That is what I saw. It was a blue arrow for the skill points. Oh, lots of you guys remember quite clearly. Yeah, the trainers, you could buy the books for points, yeah. I actually still have, I think. I should. I have some Grandmaster manuals in my, like, novelties area. Here, check it out, look. A Master's Trainer manual, an Adept's Trainer manual, and a Grandmaster Trainer's manual. Double-click to use. This item will unlock the ability to spend up to 10 points in all trait lines, and it will refund your currently spent trait points. This item can only be used once. It requires level 11. And then the Masters one required level 40, and the Grandmasters required level 60. Yeah, just some of my old items. I have free tournament tokens. Unfortunately, I don't have any paid ones still. Good times.
Getting healthy.
I refuse to sky scale. We can get up here without a bunny. Oh. Here you go, Scouts Overlook. So this is map comp. The Guild Wars 2 Wiki skill points page still shows the icon. Does it? Let me have a look at this. I want to go check that out. So if I go to the wiki and I just type skill points. Oh, right, yeah. Okay, I know what you guys mean. Yeah, of course. Yeah. No, so I think at Heart of Thorns, that's probably why they inherited blue. Actually, green was probably the Heart of Thorns one for 10. I don't know, or I don't remember the order everything came in. Okay, the Gift of the Starlit World exploration. This is also used to create a Gift of the People. Unfortunately, we never got any keys. I've been getting quite lucky getting keys, though, I think. So I'll accept it. It's fine. I don't know where that actually came into my inventory. Oh, I can realign it to this as well. So it's all correct. Okay. So that leaves us, guys, with a couple of mastery points. And we have seen all the major areas. Grottos notwithstanding. Side quest locations notwithstanding. So, Mastery Insights. Oh, there's just one. The Scarlet World, the Winding Passage. The Winding Passage. So that's going to be a big named area again, isn't it? Okay, over here. Oh, wow, it was at the start. It was in, like, the jungle area at the start. You know what? When we first got in this map, I thought there was going to be a whole thing where, like, we're on the ground for a while, and then we learned to fly on this, and then we were going to be in the tops of these trees. But that's not actually how it went at all. You know, I was expecting Jaka Itzel-style treehouse towns. But that's not actually what happened. It opens up, and you get into more desert-y areas, tomb areas. But at the very least here, look, this. So can I updraft on a skimmer? Oh, fuck. Like, you see how hard this is to fly? To drive? Is that the right thing? Oh, the Choya dance thing's up. I want to do this, because getting dance moves correct is like 20 lifetime or something, isn't it? That looks like hop to me. 4.
I don't think that move means what you think it does, Wayfinder.
That's clap, maybe? That's sway. That's clap again. Oh my god, it's getting like techno. What's going on with the music? Raw. Swaying again. Oh, they're so much better dancers than me. This is like what it's like to learn to dance, right? In those groups. You're always just one step behind. Alright, what is this? They're clapping.
How incredible.
Getting healthy.
Accepted you into the rhythm. And in doing
Yeah,
so,
seriously, is that like an Inquesty fucking remix of that song? That went really cool for a second. Like, what the hell? Alright, here we go. I'm going to try to glide. I'm going to try and hit this updraft. Hey, you can updraft. Hey!
Getting healthy.
I have proved my mastery of Castor. I actually have proved it. Remember in Heart of Thorns where all of them were like big jumping puzzles and actually hidden areas? Instead of glorified points of interest? Well, that one actually did ask for some mastery expertise. There you have it. All the mastery insights done. Map comp done. Now, let's go to the beach. And Zelioite can come with us, I guess, if they like. Exactly like this, pressing buttons. Yeah. It's because the skimmer code is scuffed. They can't fly in Amnitas because of this. Oh, really? They can't actually fly in Amnitas? Okay, so today I didn't do my gathering. So let's see what it's like to do a gathering run in here. So, by the way, one thing I wasn't talking about before, and I was reminded in the comments, is there is a new feature where you can actually, like, share XML files to, like, give each other templates of homesteads. Someone sent me a message about that a while ago. Listen, if you guys have an XML for some cool homestead decorations or something set up, you know, oh, I see, all the collection boxes are right here. So actually, you do get epic QOL. Even though the farm is all the way over here, you don't need to walk to it because the collection box is centralized. Oh, that is pretty cool. What the hell is this? Strange pineapple? Oh, it should play the music. Hello, everyone. Whoa. That's cool. I hadn't noticed that last time. Oh, where are they going? Castor and Choya. I should be able to place more strange pineapples to summon an army. No. We should be able to have a Beastmaster or a Zookeeper discipline. Come on, Arenanet. A new discipline. Expansion feature. Beastmaster, Zookeeper, Tamer, whatever you want to call it. Pet Hunter, whatever you want to call it, alright? And it unlocks pets for the homestead. It could be really good. Really, really, really good. Lots of opportunities to sell things on the gem store, to incentivize grind, to give various currencies and things a place. Alright, so there we go. So we can do collect.
Oh, I know of a good use
Holy
for
shit.
this.
They have
May all
immediately...
your theories be sound.
There's another collection box. And then where's the other collection box? That's 2. So we've got all of our leather racks and things here. 1, 2 boxes. Wait, so is the last box over at the farm? Am I talking shit?
Water!
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Wait, are these movable, though? Are these decorations that you can move? And has that been the case for like years? No, they're not. They're not decorations you can move.
Getting healthy.
I was going to say, years, plural. A year. What I'm trying to express, was that the case for Jantia Wilds as well? Okay, cool. Look, we get a ton more stuff. Stuff. So many things. Plant 1 is still by the garden, so it's not that convenient, but it's no big deal. Just a few bounds on a Warclaw. Yeah, I'm thinking beetle. It's flat. It's open. I mean, it's 1 boost on a beetle. This is as fast as you can go, right? Boom. So I don't really mind. That is not too dissimilar. But I guess the point is, it's not from the opening waypoint. It's from this position. I think it's still beatable, though. Beatable. Okay, guys, I want to talk about the story. Hi, I'm WoodenPotatoes. Sometimes I talk about lore. It's not my favorite thing about the game. It actually, unironically, isn't my favorite thing about the game. It genuinely isn't. Once upon a time, maybe. Hi, I'm Debbie. Let's talk about how it once was, but it isn't anymore. All right, so here, I got some comments from you guys. Pretty interesting. Now, some people are disagreeing with me. Oh, dear. I'm not happy with that. How dare you all to disagree with me? This is quite unacceptable. So, I'm going to argue with you now. Here we go. Dun dun dun. Racket Dude had a few good comments. Didn't Arenanet specifically say that they would be... So, I believe that timestamp he's referencing is when I mentioned, you know, like, it's buried and it's not clearly illustrated and all that shit. Racket Dude says, didn't Arenanet specifically say they would be telling stories similar to how Dark Souls does? The format is the exact same as Dark Souls, with the exception being that YouTubers haven't made a video covering it all. That's how the vast majority of people experience the full story in those games. All right, look, this is one of those things that frustrates me a little bit, because we've talked endlessly about this, but it's in the other Let's Plays. So it's just that it's just a part of the format of this, right? Yes, they did say that. Is Dark Souls style of storytelling fantastic, the best thing in the world, blah, blah, blah? Does it encourage fanaticism? Sometimes, yes. Can it be improved? Yes. We've had a lot of very direct... I've asked you guys in the past for, okay, compare the two for me, tell me about it. You know, someone came with the big anecdotes about how in Dark Souls there's a lot of really good environmental world building. Like, you'll find a giant staircase, and there's, like, small steps, and next to it there's massive steps. And for any curious person, you might think, why are there these massive steps? And you realize it's because those are the steps the gods used to walk on. And the point is, Guild Wars isn't good at that stuff. Like, it's one thing for Arenanet to say, yeah, we're going to do it Dark Souls style. But to really bake a lot into the environment storytelling, to really do it well, you can't just say, oh, we're going to do it, and it's scattered info, therefore it's good enough, right? I think there's an entire... It's not just about Guild Wars. There are many video games out today that look at what they call Dark Souls-style storytelling as basically budgetary storytelling. Storytelling where they can just not put much effort in, where they can not really think about connecting the pieces, where they can just scatter a bunch of text and hope that people will sleuth it out and leave it there, rather than really tightly crafting things together. It's my understanding that it's kind of like, it's an excuse a lot of the time, and it's not to really hit what FromSoft do. To really make people curious and want to dig is a skill. And it's not just a matter of dumping tooltip text in, all right? And what I understand as well is FromSoft aren't perfect either, and there is a lot of bullshit. So, like I don't think it's fair for me to criticize the transparency of the story and to talk about how the story could be really good, but X and Y and A and B. And then for someone to effectively defend the studio and say, oh, but they said it's Dark Souls style, so that's what it's meant to be. I don't think that's right. I don't think you can just put it all into a bucket and say it's Dark Souls style. You should shut up about it, which is sort of the inference I'm getting from this comment here. Like there's a conversation to be had, and I don't think we can just sweep it all under the rug of this label. And regardless of what Arenanet said, and they did say that around Secrets of the Obscure, you know, telling stories in video games is complicated. There's lots of moving parts. There's lots of ways to do it. There's lots of different vibes. You know, are we in a side quest? Are we literally just looking at the environment? Are we reading points of interest? Are we watching, you know, low resolution cutscenes? So, you know, I'm not sure. I don't buy I don't know what the true intent of this comment is, right? But if the intent is to say it's Dark Souls style and Dark Souls style is good, so get over it. If that's if that's what Racket Dude is trying to say, I disagree with that. I think that there's more. I think we can ask for more. And I think like the weirdness with Saida talking about Vlox's name and stuff and it not being totally clear. I don't want to sweep that under the rug and just say, oh, it's Dark Souls style. I think it's fair to say that didn't work very well. And speaking of that Vlox thing, we'll talk about that in a second. So here's Narik's comment today, another really good one. The end makes me wonder about the Forgotten. This mini expansion talks about them as though they already care about the human gods back in the last Dragon Rising. But that they were also separated from them, like they had a different religion, right? The theory that the Forgotten could be who invited the human gods to Tyria is an interesting one. But were the Tyrian Forgotten majority of their race? Or are they just a lost group? I guess similar to the Massart, right? And the human gods have many more Forgotten with them back from wherever they come from. Now, on that note, by the way, I've always believed that. Like, because we see lots of Forgotten tending to Abaddon's prison and stuff. I feel like they were Forgotten in other places with the gods, yeah. The Hall of the Heroes, the Rifts, shit like that. I felt like there are lots of Forgotten around. That could give the human version of the story an interesting twist, as the famed Forgotten arrival on Tyria could be that a massive number of Forgotten did come to Tyria with the human gods, making the original Forgotten, survivors of Dragon Rising, irrelevant by their numbers. That could also explain why nobody could stop the human gods from doing whatever they wanted. Also makes me wonder if the Forgotten moved on to the next Humans Gods project. Possibly. I like to believe that, yes. Which would explain why in 174 AE, Forgotten population was limited to just the Crystal Desert, when before the Exodus, they were supposedly all over Tyria. It wasn't that the humans pushed them out, it was, you know, that they had left. That, or they did suffer heavily from the war with Abaddon. I still want to see the famed Forgotten warships talked about in the scriptures of Abaddon. I don't remember that. Forgotten warships? Oh, actually, I think I do. That would also make the Forgotten that stayed on Tyria really cool, since it would be their own decision to stay and to help us with the dragons, and why they were killed so easily. At least in prophecies, they did look like there were still a lot of them. Some were just really old and powerful. Yeah, and their names came back up. You know, and let's not forget, they were big collaborators, not just with the gods, but Glint too. I mean, it was collaboration with Glint, really, that drove them in the Crystal Desert, as far as I can see. But maybe not. So, Racket Dude's back and says, non-seers coming to the island makes sense. WP, you went through a couple of in-game books that were records of elder race representatives, dwarves and Forgotten visiting the island. Yeah, hold on though. Yeah, at no point did I ever forget that, alright? Yes, we read those books. And yes, the entire thrust of those books was not that they were cosmopolitan. The point of those books is that it was very rare and special to have the other races come. It was a big moment to have emissaries from the other races be allowed to Castora and get an insight. It wasn't something that regularly happened. It was a special moment. You've taken the existence of those books to justify the seer culture having people there all the time. No. It was special and rare and weird. So it would be special and rare and weird for Waiting Sorrow to have just been thrown there, let alone the vast distances, and thus explain why Sidoni was so furious with Isgarin. I don't think we can look at those books and say, oh, there you go, it's fine that Waiting Sorrow was there. No, this is a crazy moment to get Waiting Sorrow there. So yeah, like all of that points to me to Ancora not having been used. Right, let's take a pause and see what people are saying in chat for a second. Mortal John says it's kind of hard to decipher all of this if you haven't played a Souls. Yeah, exactly. But look, I think I interrupted myself. It's not just a Guild Wars thing. There's countless indie games, right, that don't have much money but want nerds to be invested in their settings. And they say the same about themselves. They say, oh, we're doing it Dark Souls style. You know, whatever that means. You know, and the genre itself is a poster child for something that means nothing, right? What does it mean? Long respawns? Loss of resources when you die? Tight controls? Weighty animations? Like, there's a lot that builds to what people understand Souls to be, right? And FromSoft games to be in Elden Ring. And then don't they do, what's the game called? Sekiro? Isn't that like a rhythm-based take on it all? Anyway, but it's when we're just in the arena of storytelling. Have you tried turning on Bloom in the new homestead? Yeah, I did it in the last episode. Lord Morkish says the story is bipolar. Lore and environmental storytelling is great, and then the main story often falls behind it or fails to do that established scope justice. I think that will always be the case because it costs a lot of money to make the main story. I wouldn't go so far as describing it as bipolar myself. Souls-like means about as much as roguelike these days, yeah. Yeah, look, I mean, look, it's a genre designation that got people excited and sold copies, so of course businesses were going to use it to generate some revenue. As a non-writer game dev, I call bullshit. I took 3 months exclusively to write the story for your current project. Just saying it's Dark Souls style is lazy. Look, okay, let's not dogpile this guy too much. We don't even really know what motivated the comment. I just want to point out that, you know, yes, the Arenanet themselves have said, and did say, in Secret of the Obscure, Dark Souls style. He's not wrong to point that out. Costage has a little quote there. And prayed he, Abaddon, Lord of the Everlasting Depths, Keeper of the Secrets, open my eyes, bestow upon me the knowledge of the Abyss that I might smite my enemies and send them to their watery depths. The unmistakable shape of forgotten warships upon the horizon's shimmering edge. See, that's all the big scope lore that I like. All right, let's move on. So, Jeff Hazak. So let's talk about Vlox's name a little bit here, because we haven't done that enough, have we? So Jeff has an interesting point. He says this: I think you're way too fixated on the mystery about Vlox's name. I'm fairly confident what's happening there has happened several times before, and it's a mystery to the player, but not to the characters. Like Morjamoth's name, who I think everyone suddenly confidently knew, despite the entire core story not mentioning it once, outside of the Easter egg of Subject Alpha's attack. The first chapter of VOE does have the Golem GPT inform you that a new Inquest leader has been named, but it doesn't specify that name to you in the chat window. Presumably, in-universe, the characters learn at that point exactly who this new Inquest leader is. And at a minimum, Councillor Ludo should definitely know, since the Inquest are an official entity in Ratasum's community. I don't like this. Okay, look. Let's just start with that first sentence. Like Morjamoth's name, everyone suddenly knew? Hold on, though. That's not a victory for Guild Wars 2. First of all, that's a very, very... Okay, you're saying, oh, the characters know, but the player don't. That happens all the time, like with Morjamoth. No. That doesn't happen all the time. That happened in the Morjamoth case, very specifically, and everyone bitched about it because it was bad storytelling, and they patched it. The example you've given me to suggest this is okay and par for the course is the one exception that got fixed. I do completely accept that there are elements of the setting our characters know about that the players don't. For example, toilets, right? If this was real and I asked her, where's the nearest bog, she could tell me, right? Oh, there's a toilet over here in Whole Garden. Right, there are certain things we suspend our disbelief and the characters presumably know about, but they should never become integral to the story or have the players' attention drawn to them, right? So I do accept that, yes, the characters know some things. Like, our human noble probably knows the name of a couple of kings back, right? But I think we have to be very careful, and they shouldn't come up. Everything should be honestly and blatantly and clearly and transparently put on the screen. I cannot forgive this messiness with Vlox's name. You're saying I'm too fixated on it. Get over it. Like, the characters clearly know. Like, I don't think it's good enough. And I don't think the Morgemoth example is a good example. And so you're happy with it, are you, Jeff? You're happy to just assume in the chat GPT conversation, the Golem GPT conversation, you're happy to suspend your disbelief and just say, oh, yeah, they got told his name. And it totally works when later we meet him and he says, my reputation precedes me. I can maybe do that. I can maybe get there. I'm usually the kind of person I like to believe. I do try to suspend my disbelief. I don't quibble over little things, and I accept that sometimes we have to do that. But it just feels awkward to me. And what I will say, right, is, okay, maybe we can suspend our disbelief, but why? Why are we being asked to do that? Why isn't it just in the script, right? Why do we have to presume? Why can't Golem GPT say it out loud? Why is that not there? I don't think that Arenanet made a deliberate decision to skip out on those details because it's easy to ask the player base to rationalize it. I think that they made a mistake. This story journal step, right? Before that, when we were collecting pieces of paper, and in the journal, the commander wrote, "Oh, someone named Blocks." That's a fucked up instance. That's the journal talking about shit that doesn't happen in game. There was a weird, like, piece of paper we picked up with broken English. Well, it was very weird, though. And then the commander's reflections on it were not accurate. I'm sorry. Look, I will platform this. Maybe you guys feel that I've gone too deep on this. Maybe it's totally forgivable, and the VOE story is written well. But I personally think that there is a hole there. There's a hole there, which is why Saida knows the name. There's a hole there with the piece of paper we picked up. That instance where you have 10 minutes to run through and, like, revelations come out, but they're not real revelations. I personally am digging my heels in on this. I think it's bad storytelling. It's incongruent storytelling. It's messy storytelling. Just as the Morgemoth thing was. But I will finally round that out. I think you do have a point about Ludo. Well, no, but that's the thing. What I think it should be is... Okay, it's not about Ludo. It's about Yak, right? Councillor Yak. There should be a scene where we say, fucking hell, isn't it weird that Councillor Yak is on the council as an open member of the inquest? And Ludo says, yeah, it's fucked up, isn't it? I can't believe they've done that. Now, in-game, there is a line a little bit like that. But then the commander should have a moment where the commander says... Yeah, like, what? We don't even know who rules the inquest, right? Like, can't we just ask Yak that? And Ludo says, yeah, you'd think that'd be so easy, but the dickhead doesn't say anything. Ugh, inquest. Anyway, let's keep hacking this door, right? Something to the effect of that, right, would go so far to getting our ducks in the row, but the dialogue isn't there. So, yeah, anyway, that's me digging my heels in. I don't know what you guys think on this one. Could you hide the ghost mini? The sound loop's getting annoying. Yeah, all right. All right. Sorry, ghost. They don't like you. Who should we put on instead? Do you know what? I wish there were fucking tabs for this. Because, like, all these skimmers, there should be tabs. It should be like it should be like Core plus Season 1, Heart of Thorns, Season 2 and 3, POF in Season 4, Icebrood Saga. You know, there should be because, like, so many of these are just like, I don't want to scroll past a million variations of these jackal pups. I don't know. Something on theme. A pirate, maybe? Ellen Keel, I just saw we scroll past. No, there you go. Mini Grim. There you go. Grim's going to sunbathe with us at, well, just sleep at night time, I guess. I kind of like it. We're sleeping. It works when it's night, and it works when it's the day as well. Because it's either sunbathing or it's, thingy-ma-bobbin. Oh, shit. I just did all that conversation with text on screen. Sorry, everyone. Sorry. Don't put the Jade Bot. I actually want Jade Bot skins for the mini. Okay, so then there's Hardy. Hardy is the show stealer today, guys. Because Hardy, first of all, donated $5 Canadian. So thank you for that, Hardy. I love seeing donations in YouTube comments. It's so cool. Like, the fact you can even do it is just badass, right? So, and has a bunch of points. A lot of them are really salient and really fun. Let's just see what we got, shall we? For the relics of the Revenant. I took that as relics based on NPCs were around. The relic of the Scoundrel is likely Canuck. The Pirate Queen is Saida. The Revenant is Ritlock. Biomancer is obviously Seb. Castor is the map itself. Miss Stranger's a bit off. All of them make sense except that one. I know people think Razza, but if I think it's implying one of the NPCs we've been dealing with like the rest is Garen? Vlox? I guess it could be Razza. I mean, I think it has to be Razza, right? Because Razza is the Miss Stranger. I mean, that's like his designation. What we will do, guys, is we will play the Revenant intro in a second, and we'll see what we think about that. Next, Hardy says, as for story, I don't have much to say that people smarter than me haven't already said. No one here is smarter than you. I'm happy with it, but part of my worry, informed maybe, right? But part of my worry is that Arenanet is always pretty good with the start of stories. Very good build-up. It's the endings that they always fall flat on. And that is totally true. That is that describes all the boring Nios shit. It describes the Foundry of Failed Creation, though they were mostly hits, not misses last year. It describes Giala Delve. But, you know, they've just left a lot of doors open for Cantha 2 Electric Boogaloo, I suppose. Anyway, all these theories about Vlox, and I'm just cynically expecting the end to have him twirl his mustache, saying, I was the bad guy all along. Oh no, Ancora is making me go crazy. You must fight more now. Yeah. Then we kill him and just go, yup, that's about it. Throw it in the vault, Izzy. High five and freeze frame with upbeat music. I feel quite similar. I am nervous. I am quite the optimist, though. And I will give the game the benefit of the doubt, and who knows? Who knows? I take a lot of strength from the way Saida and Canuck were talking to each other at the end of this last instance. I really feel like they're indulging the idea that Vlox is not going to be two-dimensional. And so I'm enjoying that right now. The only fear comes from, okay, do the later teams know what to carry on, you know? So we'll see. I will say the maps are overall better. I like Janthir, but Sintry was clearly a meta story instance map and not much else. And though not as empty as, say, Dragon's End for things to do. And I don't think Ritlock is there for personal reasons. I think he's just there to be a voice of reason. His background includes 2 characters that lusted for power, his son and Banger. By the way, Krisha too. Power is a means to end. Yeah, absolutely. All the other characters, we don't have that history or even contact with divinity like he has. Well, no, I mean, Saida with the Joko connections. I mean, Joko fits. Which I guess might also be a reason. He knows how pathetic gods or beings with such power can be. I wish that Ritlock had talked about Sahothin and stuff. I think there were much deeper connections he could have been keyed into. They give you a short time in areas with a lot of lore because they want you to do it more than once. Lame, I know, but that's the reason. Maybe, but then when the Wizards Vault meta ended with Secrets of the Obscure, they did patch it to give you more time to explore. So I don't know whether that's true. In terms of lore building, the things I took away the most. First, they are trying to tie it all to the Seers. I think they're trying to say something about having unknown eggs in that vault after the meta you did. Why would everyone not think of dragons? Did the Seers bring the dragons? Did they steal the Suwon eggs there? So there weren't as many Elder Dragons? Also, our hero has seen every egg on Tyrius to know that these are unique, lol. Well, okay, that's a good point. Yeah, how do we know that they're unique? I sort of didn't question that. Maybe it's in the inscription. I didn't think Elder Dragon eggs. I mean, think about it. Aureen's egg was crazy and shiny and shit. It wasn't a normal looking fucking egg, was it? It was completely suffused, drenched with magic. But there could be Elder Dragon-esque eggs, by the way, because remember, not all eggs came from Suwon. Aureen's egg came from Glint. Glint herself was an egg from Kralkatorrik. Who's to say that Zaitan didn't have an egg one day? You know? And what about Shiny and all that stuff? I mean, they're actually all fun places to go, I think, personally. Maybe there was a Zaitan egg, and it hatched, and it's currently alive underneath Raisu Palace. I see no reason why that doesn't exist as a story. Somehow, ... the Elder Dragons returned. Yeah, but it's not somehow Palpatine returned. It's literally, oh, they had eggs. You know, if Shiny can be a thing, it's totally, it is a valid, Zaitan fucks. Yeah, I don't know. They don't really go into that, do they? The prudes. Oh, by the way, it's funny, you get opinions as life goes forward, and then sometimes you get challenged on those opinions, and you're like, shit, where did that come from? And you sort of question it. That happened to me the other day when we were talking about Arenanet's prudishness, and a good example did come to me, like the completely unnecessary redesign of the marionette, right? Where it's like, oh, she has tits and an ass, or no, can't have those. So like in Lion's Arch, they like completely rounded her out and stuff. It's like there's nothing but prudishness behind a change like that. So there you go. Anyway, magic is generally all the same. Bloodstones, Shadowstones, Jade, Godhood, Ascension, Relics, Weapons. It's all just collections of magic. And the only difference is how that magic gets filtered. Or collected, I would say. Bloodstones are crude. Yeah, and I think you're right about this, right? Like, the Seers talk about their rites of Ascension as though other people will learn them eventually. They're just not going to help them there. And that's what I like to think the Forgotten were doing. Bloodstones are crude. Shadowstone is very refined. All these processes to become godly just seem to be safe-ish ways for beings to turn into giant magic batteries. I agree with that observation. Maybe, since all these practices are a way to store magic, that it is actually dangerous to the environment, like Mako reactors in 7. Yeah, exactly. And we talked about the live stream, right? You can only take so much before you start killing the planet. Maybe that's what happened to the Six's homeworld. They were greedy and basically drained the planet for power, and why they left Tyria, because now they know that the process of absorbing that magic might destroy Tyria and attract Dragon's attention in an endless fight to put the magic back into the planet. Dragons are unique in that their magical absorption slowly releases. I don't think any of these other godlike beings do that, that we know anyway. So, assuming that if they destroyed Tyria, these magic absorbing dragons would go nuts in the myths, absorbing everything and everything. It'd be crazy if that happened. So I'm guessing the Seers knew this and limited how they did it, but that's a guess. Yeah, I really do think that the gods are just greedier versions of the Seers, and the Seers judged them for that. I love that idea, and I want to see that come true so badly. I want to hear that basically Sidoni didn't like the Six, and Isgarin didn't like the Six. They couldn't be too angry at them because they weren't stealing Tyria's magic, but they knew they were scumbags for having drained previous worlds. There's a lot of focus on the whole memory issue, dealing with Ascension Godhood magic absorption. From the Six to the Wizards to the Seers. Memory is important, or Arenanet wants it to be. Maybe the crypt is feeding on emotions is a part of it as well. Since they've been doing this in Secrets of the Obscure, which was released all the way back so many years ago in 2023? Feels like forever, but yeah, 2023. I know, right? It's because they're putting a lot of content in the game now. Yeah, you had to pay a little bit more than you used to. But still, I'm very happy with where Guild Wars is and what it's doing. Announce the next mini-X pack, Arenanet. Come on. Come on. Chop, chop. I'd say it goes back even further with people sanity being affected by absorbing too much magic in Bloodstone Fen. Well, and then Matthias in Wing 2. Anyone can absorb magic, but if you do it too poorly and recklessly, you'll go insane. And that typifies the dragons too. Maybe that's why the gods didn't want Abaddon to just mass release magic into the populace. A lot of this is just like pretty basic stuff, I think, that we've been talking about for 10 years. It'd be like half the planet going insane and starting a massive war and be harder to take it for themselves. I don't know, maybe that's why the Seers Ascension process is so raw. Without protecting the mind, some Seers would go crazy and need to be put down, which led to Izzy to refine the process. I mean, even Kralkatorrik was going insane, taking in too much magic recklessly. It's an obvious theme about too much power and you lose your identity if not careful. Yes, it is. You're absolutely right. So Vlox, going the way of Abaddon and releasing all the magic in the world might be the real threat. Well, or more specifically, he ascends himself, he can't handle it, and goes bonkers, Matthias style. Overall, I'm pretty happy with this expansion. It's starting pretty strong. I'm a little worried about the end. My only real complaint is those collection parts in the story, which I like, could use some refinement. Yeah, I agree with that too. I thought the clues were not very good. I'm happy with all the VO and the events, get the legendary breather. Not going to bother with Ancora because it needs 55 amalgamated draconic lodestones. Screw that. Yeah, got to collect those during the festivals. Oh, and you donated because you were curious how it worked. Oh, there you go. Well, It works brilliantly. Maybe other people can be curious. All right, there you go. So beautiful. Right, then we got Zhu Zhang here. One god equals one drained world. You like this math, says Kitabake. Yeah, it's an interesting idea, isn't it? Each god is a race from a different reality, a different plane. But then there's also this other stuff about how Tyria is special in some way. So you have like lesser realms and greater realms, and I don't know. Is that why like the Fissure of Woe is such a shithole? It was a thriving, beautiful world once, but Balthazar made it like that. And it's like, oh, good job, dude. Is that why the Underworld is a shithole? I mean, the thing is, they're shitholes from our perspective, but maybe they're not really. I don't know. Melandri seems to have done alright. From what we saw in Dragonfall. Hi, WP. I heard there were people complaining about the price about globs going down because of mirrors. It's funny because I remember the interview you had with the richest members of the guild back in 2019, and I feel like this was to be expected. Oh, you remember that interview? Yeah, that was very cool, wasn't it? Yeah, I still don't even really get what they were going on about, that they wanted to create a middle class, but it was because they wanted to profit off of the middle class and make even more money for themselves or something, right? Was it? I don't know. Ecto has crashed before. Ecto will crash again. I really don't feel too strongly about either way. Look, Ecto crashes. That's a good time to go craft stuff, you know? Hey, Rocker, thank you for the 5 gift memberships. That's very kind of you. You were wondering how this works. That's so nice of you, man. Thank you very much. Look, to anyone who already supports on Patreon, you have done enough. Thank you very much. The oddity is that the Bloodstone Fen victims automatically take on Dragon Minion Hierarchy. So champions have minions gathering magic from them. Yeah, I remember that. That was when they were thinking a lot about that around that time. That's when those raids came out too, you know. All right, Zhu Zhang. I just want to take the time to appreciate how well Arenanet has handled the parallel between Isgarin and Sidoni. It's so beautifully written when you scrutinize the lore books and different story dialogue to piece them together. Yes, I agree completely. I talked a little bit about this on the last part with that immutable comment, but I didn't really know why I felt the way I did, and Zhu Zhang has listed it out. So look at this. Look how good this is. We know from Secrets of the Obscure that Isgarin barely spent his adolescence among his people. So presumably he was still young when all these disagreements happened between him and Sidoni. Sidoni, who was called the Immortal Leader, this age difference must have been what caused their divergent opinions. In his letter, Sidoni wrote, "Despite what Isgarin might suggest, I am not immutable." We all remember that, hopefully. That's a great line, right? Sidoni said that, "I am not immutable." It's interesting, because in the last instance of Janthir Wilds, Isgarin said, before leaving the party, "I am not immutable." But, well, history takes its toll, habits born of lifetimes. So, he thought of Sidoni as immutable when he was young, and a millennia later, he has to defend himself from being thought of as immutable. You know, it's like we all end up like our parents, you know? Sidoni has said, "I have only ever motioned for caution and restraint regarding the Massar." And we know Isgarin disapproved, because he tried to intervene in that decision of not helping the Massar and forgotten in their fight against Zaitan. But what did Isgarin do thousands of years later when we, the commander, fought the dragons, and to an extent when the rebelling Cryptis fought the Eparch, and by the way, to an extent, Nightfall? Isgarin did the same thing. He even said in the last instance of Secrets of the Obscure, "I do not act without careful consideration. I have lived a long time with the consequence of my prior impulsiveness." So Isgarin was pretty different from Sidoni during his early years, but as he grew old, he started to act and think like him. I do believe that these two were close once. Perhaps they had a mentor-mentee relationship or something similar. It would explain why Isgarin acts like Sidoni despite not agreeing with him before. But it can go deeper even than that. As was discussed on stream, the sole reason for Isgarin to ascend Waiting Sorrow, leading to his exile, was compassion. And one can argue that this one difference between him and Sidoni remains true to this day. Arenanet can lean into this fact as the theme for the Vlox versus Isgarin theme too, as was discussed. And perhaps they can deliberately build to that theme when they decided to put the Sidoni-Isgarin dynamic under the spotlight. So, I'm really impressed with Arenanet's ability to tell a story that mostly consists of lore books and throwaway dialogue. I hope they'll explore this story further when we get to the next map, since it did get pulled into prominence with that scene in Chapter 8. Definitely, I think you get the story. I think that's what Arenanet's doing. I think it's been satisfying, and that's what I've been enjoying too. and more, basically. I'm a little upset that it's a bit buried. It is, so to speak, Dark Souls storytelling. But in another respect, that's just kind of to be expected. And I've enjoyed all of these elements. And I'm right there with you. I think all of that's great. I've liked this. A 7-year-old lolly seer. Oh, God. Yeah, we're going to see a really young-looking seer at someone. When Kerry saw the young seer in the flashback, the first thing she said is, wow, he was still wearing glasses even back then. And that's not the kind of thing I would think of at all, but, you know. Here's just an amazing little thing, by the way. EO, this is from an old video. This is a new comment. It's 7 hours ago, but on like part 1 or 2. My character did the Infinity Ball story, and it gets referenced by Ludo. Damn. I wonder if it's a big reference. Do I think anything Infinity Ball is going to come up in this plot? Maybe. All that shit we've been talking about Vlox in terms of Omad's machine. Infinity Ball is also, you know, bubbling around in the background there. I won't distract us into a massive Infinity Ball thing here. 2 comments left, guys. Roasted Walnuts. In regard to the comment just after 2 hours, Isgarin touched Ancora to ascend initially. Then Isgarin used a lesser parlor trick version to ascend Waiting Sorrow and dampen her memories. And the following discussion about being confused and unclear as to the justification of Isgarin's banishment. I still think this answer makes more than enough sense. So Roasted Walnut says this. If you are entrusted with the knowledge of how to perform what is seemingly the most powerful ritual in the known universe, or at least one of, that is also a core pillar of their culture, that is also a secret kept within their culture, I too would be pissed if someone entrusted with that knowledge went off and made a bastardized version of your culture and power to spread around to others outside of your culture with no permission or insight or oversight. This would completely destroy any trust that Isgarin would be trusted with the real ritual, therefore making him banished from Ancora Castora, completely reasonable and justified. I agree. It's completely reasonable that he got banished, and it's completely reasonable that they said you don't get to touch Ancora, even if he only did a parlor trip. That's all fine. I don't dispute that. I think that's fine. My dispute, now let me be very clear about this. If you are Sidoni, and as a part of the punishment for eating Victoria Sponge, you're gonna curse Isgarin, why not curse him for eating Victoria Sponge? You cursed him for creating Black Forest Gateau, but you're not going to curse him for the actual offense? I still don't think the story works. I get it. I get why he's cursed for Ancora and the bigger thing, because they don't trust him, right? That final sentence is really what matters, right? They don't trust him to go for the big one, so we're definitely cursing him with that. But why is he allowed to just run around doing the lesser thing? If anything, exiling him, rather than imprisoning him or keeping him close, is the worst possible move. Because you have no oversight over the lesser thing, and the lesser thing is what they're angry about. Apparently. I don't think it makes any sense, and you can say, oh, well, it's just melodrama. No, no, no. The Seers were as melodramatic as they were pragmatic, okay? Right, the pragmatic move here is to keep Isgarin close. If you can rationalize it for yourself and say, oh, well, maybe he's not allowed to curse him for the lesser one. Maybe he can only curse him for the greater one because it's not But then don't ask me to rationalize that quibble. Explain that in-game. That's an uncomfortable plot hole to me if it hasn't been explained in-game. So I'm still not happy, even if we want to say, well, maybe Isgarin will just find another way. Like, I don't think the story... If the answer is that he did the parlor trick and it was the lesser one and it wasn't full ascension and he didn't have Ancora, I still don't like the story because I don't think a punishment of eating Black Forest Gateau is valid when his crime was Victoria Sponge, and you're relying on like very precise hacky world building If you say, oh, well, they just weren't allowed to... it wasn't possible to stop the lesser ritual. That's hacky world building. You know, I can also rationalize it in some other fun ways. We can say, okay, maybe Isgarin's entire identity among the Seers was using Ancora. But again, like, that's a rationalization. Put it in game. So I still don't like this. I think the only way this story works is it was the big ritual that he did on Waiting Sorrow. It was the big ritual, so they took the big ritual away from him. They took Ancora away from him. And then in later years, he developed a lesser one because he couldn't do the big one anymore. And the Seers were now dead to not watch over him anyway, right? So the lesser one came second. And that's the only way it really makes sense to me. It has to have been the big one that he did to Waiting Sorrow. And that gives us the benefit of why Waiting Sorrow got to make the Heart of the Obscure for free with it. The only problem, if it was the big one, is, okay, isn't it a bit weird? He managed to smuggle her into Castora really quickly. But I think that's easier for me to suspend my disbelief about, right? Especially going back to this guy's comment earlier. Remember, at the end of the day, they did have a summit. That's the easier rationalization for me. So at this point, guys, I feel like it's... Oh, but then the other problem, if it's the big one, then why did Waiting Sorrow lose all of her memories? Is it because even from that very first stage, is Garin tampered with it? I don't know. It should. I'm sorry. It's just. It should be written there. And I'm not even going to say it should be in a lore document off to the side. It should be actually like voice acted written to me. I don't know. So look, I'm not going to force you guys an interpretation of this on you guys. If you can rationalize it and you're happy to do it, if you can suspend your disbelief, if you think it works, like roasted walnuts here, then that's totally fair. But I personally am not convinced still. And there it is. So that's it. I guess we've put that topic to bed now. What I will say is I don't think it's particularly concrete. All this analogy does is make me want both cakes. Yeah, I could so go for a fucking cream cake or something right now. You think he changes it? Says La Man, hence the parlor trick. Yeah, and the parlor trick is like, actually, do you know what? I'm going to do something here. I'm going to poll everyone who's doing second monitor. Let's poll it. What do you like to believe? I want to see. What do you guys believe? Waiting Sorrow is fully ascended? And that stuff about memory loss, we have to rationalize. And the fact that you can only do it here on Castora with the thing, blah, blah, blah. Do you believe that? Or do you believe she got the parlor trick and it's Sidoni's punishment that makes no sense? I think in both worlds, there's something that doesn't make sense. Which one do you believe? What one do you want to believe? There's a poll. Give me your votes, guys. I'd like to see where that lands for people. Really think about your answer to that. And which one is your favorite? I don't know for sure. I kind of think Waiting Sorrow might be fully ascended because I can imagine in the next patch, we're going to go to this great well of power where it happened, right? And I wouldn't be surprised if we get another flashback with Waiting Sorrow there. And she gets a little bit of dialogue or something. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what I think. I'm very curious. Go on, get your votes in. What do you think? Yeah, if she's fully ascended, it explains all of her crazy combat animations. It explains the creation of the... You know, maybe there's a story here where she's fully ascended and Isgarin specifically did it to take away Coda as well, so he tampered with her mind. And then it just so happens years later, when it came to Mabon and everyone else, he thought, I did that with her. And he did it with her because it was essential. But for the others, he thought, maybe that's handy. All right. You know, maybe that's the story. And again, if we get into the ethics of ripping people's memories, the main story could go into that. Nate says, I read the parlor trick line as him just being mad that it was used to fix Waiting Sorrow, not that it was a lesser version. That's how I interpreted the parlor trick first time we played as well. But I have to say, you guys have convinced me. I love the other argument. I do love the other argument. We're stronger than her. We'll be ascended in the finale. You know, it really did seem like Ancora was immediately going to ascend us, right? Why do you want this power? What did Ancora ask us? Like, we were getting quizzed immediately. I hope if something like that happens, they draw a parallel between this Ascension and the Guild Wars 1 Heroes Ascension and the Churai stuff. You hope we get to see the other wizards in this story? Yeah, give me a flashback of Vars. Give me a flashback of Akeem. You know, I'd love to see these things. So how's this? So I'm going to read this final comment, and then we're going to look at the poll, okay? So Anthony says, Lysa, that sea you saw on the beach, actually has multiple different dialogue. Oh, there you go. Yeah, I did think I got that. So I'm going to go have a look at that, actually. I'm going to go have a look-see. Waiting Sorrow is too powerful to get a party trick. Look at her animations. I don't know, though. There's a part of me that really thinks it makes sense for Waiting Sorrow to be super strong. But I also, you know, yeah, she has big fancy animations. I just thought, oh, it's because she's a wizard. And at the end of the day, they were just Janthea Wild spear animations. Like, I don't know. Is it cool to think she's super badass and powerful? Even more so than Mabon was and stuff? Is that cool? Sorry, I just left party. Yeah, let's see if they speak again. Are they going to say something else, Lysa? No? Is character selecting back? I don't understand why you're saying both Ascension techniques are different. Well, because Isgaran said that they're not the same. They, you know, one is much weaker. He described it as much less than the full thing. And I'm pretty sure he also described one of them as tampering with memories, while the other does not. Like,
I failed you, little brother.
That's why we're scared of Vars, because he'll have his memories.
I underwent the rite, but I was not whole. I was rejected, ill. Then the war came, and you left with Melior. Without the two of you, I wasted away, sapped of strength and spirit. Perhaps one of the last few buried here before the rest left.
That was different. That's lovely. Aww. Where does it actually say one is more powerful than the answer? These are good questions, because all I'm going on is I'm just winging it based on what we played. Was the word precise? The aggro crocodiles swarming you whenever you get to this beach is so silly. Just this beach? You mean the whole fucking expansion? Yeah, I just can't fight back on the otter build, so... Right, okay, the poll says... Okay, 68% of you believe that Waiting Sorrow is fully ascended. 32% of you believe that it was just a parlor trick. It was already the lesser one. So we'll see where that goes, I guess, as time goes forwards. We'll see where that goes. Okay, so guys, I kind of hate to do this, and I am sorry, but we started later today. I never said this out loud in the commentary. I was going to, but we were a bit crammed. I was planning on doing a bit of a shorter episode today, and so that's what this is. So, sorry. We got map comp, we got the mastery insights, we talked about farming, we talked about a new build, we visited some new areas, we talked about story. Listen, on the next one, we're going to go full-blown side quests, side stories, hidden grottos. It's going to be all interesting things all the way, okay? So, sorry if you found this boring. I'm a little insecure that some of you don't like the Q&A bits. So, yeah, to those of you, I apologize. Next episode will hopefully be a lot of fun. So, thank you all. Take care of yourselves. And I'll be back for the next part. You know, we got 3 more grottos to find. I think 2 of these, though, I've been to but didn't appear on footage. So, they might be nice to find. But Castoran culture and stuff. The grill rings. We can look at the Aqua Breather. Yeah, if you guys have just got any advice, cool new details and fun things about Visions of Eternity, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one next time. Let's not labour the ending for the poor people on playlist mode. Oh yeah, and the Revenant intro, yes. Yes, we will do the Revenant intro next time. We'll do some of the story openings. We'll learn what this Razza stuff is. So I'll see you guys there for more story and fun stuff next time. Take care, guys. Have a good evening.